Hi guys, this is Ranjit and this is sort of a new series called Geeky Answers. And guys, if you recall, I used to do actually this FAQ videos every month and I used to take about 20-25 questions. But the thing is that I had to actually cram in a lot of questions in a given point and I couldn't actually spend a lot of time on a particular important topic. So with this new series, I am planning to actually address some very important questions that I'm getting from you guys. But again, this is a full dedicated video on that topic so that it makes a lot more sense. So this is the first one of this one. So let's get on this one. And I've been getting a lot of questions from you guys regarding similar topics. So let's go on and I'll take some of the questions. For example, I've got similar questions from Abhishek. He says, should a student first buy a Windows laptop or iPad or a Chromebook? Also, what is the best laptop for students around 40 to 50,000 price point? And I got similar question. This is from Sandeep. He says, please suggest a laptop around 40 to 50,000 for work from home purpose. No gaming at all, just for work and maybe light entertainment purpose like movies, browsing, predominantly for working and consulting field with good specs, resolution, memory, etc. Please don't ignore it. I've got similar questions from you guys. Windows-based laptop that does not cost too much, but again, decent specs, what it has. So let me answer this question first. Let's talk about Abhishek because this is an important question that he has asked and many people are confused. Do I take a proper Windows laptop, or do I buy a Chromebook, or do I go with something like an iPad or something? And I would say that if you're serious about work and you're creating stuff, then I would say don't go for the iPad and all these tablets are first consumption devices, but with a laptop or something else you're creating content. So again, I would lean towards the laptop. Chromebook is a good solution mostly if you're using mobile apps or something like that. But again, if you have a budget, as you're saying, most of you are having a budget of about 40 to 50,000, you can actually get a pretty decent Windows laptop, and I think so that will be a lot more versatile for most of you guys for the next couple of years. You can do some professional work also with that one. So I would lean, if you have this sort of a budget, if you have very low budget, below 25,000, 30,000, yes, Chromebooks make sense. But if you have this sort of a budget, 40, 50,000 or something like that, then a Windows laptop makes a lot more sense. Okay, first, most of you are telling the ideal price point of between 40 to 50,000. And I'll say that you have to increase your budget a little bit if you want to get a pretty good laptop that you can use for next couple of years. I would say in India, considering the current price point that we are getting in 2022, the inflation, the pricing has increased. I would say you can get decent Windows laptop for around 50 to 60,000 price point. It's not like you cannot get below that price point around 40, 45,000. But what I have noticed is that these are some of the compromises that you get. The first thing in many of the budget-oriented laptops is the screen quality. The screen quality is actually really bad in budget-oriented laptops. In fact, some of them actually use TN screen, and if you just move the hinge of the laptop, the screen up and down, the colors shift so much that it's not visible, and that's actually not a good thing. So generally in budget-oriented laptops, screen is the first thing that can compromise because that's a big part of the whole package. Next thing is also the build quality in many of the budget-oriented laptops are simply not that good. If you pick it up, it's almost entirely made up of plastic. It'll creak around, and also the hinges on which the screen is there, those are also actually made up of plastic, not metal or good quality plastics. They're very flimsy, so will simply not last for a long time, and if an accidentally laptop drops once or twice, it might just break. So the build quality I generally do not like. These are the two areas where they do a lot of compromises in budget-oriented Windows laptops. So I would say increase your budget to about 50 to 60,000, and here you get decent good Windows laptop. And again, all of these laptops should come with Windows 11 license. Also, in terms of when you're buying a laptop, look at it if it comes pre-bundled with Windows Home and Office. That is, you get MS Office and also the lifetime license. If you don't get that, then you might have to pay separately for the license. So, but many of the reputable brands are building this bundled in that. So again, that is something you have to note. Now, let's talk about the first important thing. What is the kind of processor that you would require if your budget is around 50, 60,000? Okay, first let's talk about Intel, but I would be personally preferring towards the AMD Ryzen based processor in this price point. I'll talk about that. Why? You can get the Intel Core i5 variant of the processor in this process, in this price range. But the older one, guys, the 10th and the 11th generation, you won't get the latest 12th generation of Intel Core i5 processor, because those laptops are significantly more expensive. The 12th generation is significantly faster than the 10th and 11th generation, but Intel knows that. That's why most of the new laptops that are coming with Core i5 12th generation are significantly priced higher. That way, I would say you can look at the last year's AMD Ryzen series of processor. For example, the Ryzen 5500U or even the 5700U. These are actually very, very good processor. And in this price point, I would say those will be my pick. These will easily beat the Intel Core i5 10th and the 11th generation of processors. And you should be able to get it now in the market at a good bargain price, because AMD is going to soon release the Ryzen 6000 series. But again, the 6000 series will be priced significantly higher. So that is regarding the processor. My pick would be the AMD Ryzen 5500U or the 5700U that you should get. And this is actually ample powerful for most of you guys. Even you can do video editing and stuff with that. Okay, next thing is that moving to RAM, how much RAM do you require? And guys, remember that the RAM generally on these laptops, these are ultra portable laptops. So the RAM will be soldered on most of the machines. I won't say every machine. You might have some machines where the RAM is expandable, but for most of them, the RAM will be soldered. So you cannot upgrade the RAM. And I would say the minimum RAM that you should go is 8 gigabytes of RAM. This should be enough for 95% of the use case scenarios. But again, if you are a special case scenario, for example, you do video editing, you work with very heavy files and something like that, you know you have to use VMware or something like that, then more RAM is beneficial. And then you might have to go to 16 gigabytes of RAM. But again, the pricing will increase. So this is a special case scenario. 95% of the users, I would say 8 gigabytes RAM is enough. But again, you know, if your needs are very heavy, you know, you use some special softwares or something, database or VMs you have to use and all this thing, then more RAM is beneficial. Next thing is regarding storage. And the good thing is that in this price range, you will start getting laptops with SSDs, which are massively faster than regular hard drive. The base variant of SSD that you should be looking at is 256 gigabytes. But again, you might also see some laptops with 512 gigabytes of SSD. And again, don't worry about having very high storage internal with SSD 1 terabyte or something. It's going to become just too expensive. I would suggest buy external USB hard drive. For example, this is the 1 terabyte. You can easily get even a 2 terabyte one. And the heavy files that you have, for example, video files, your image files that take a lot of space, you can just offload it like that. That's how I actually use it for the last couple of years. Most of my regular important files are on the laptop's SSD, but some of the heavy files like video files or pictures that we have taken for vacation, etc., I just move it to an external hard drive like this. And again, it's good for even backup. So that's regarding the storage. Minimum 256 gigabyte of SSD. And again, I would opt for a SSD because a conventional hard drive is just too slow. SSD will make everything very, very fast. Okay, now moving to the battery. Again, as these are budget-oriented laptops, battery capacity will vary quite a bit. In the lowest end, you might see battery capacity as low as 35 watt-hour. And some of the higher-end ones can go up to about 55 watt-hour. I'm not looking at the gaming laptops. Gaming laptops will have even bigger battery, but they'll become heavy. But ballpark figure is about 35 on the lower end to higher end about 55 watt-hour. And this based on this one and also the processor that is used, it will determine the amount of battery backup that you'll get. Most of the new laptops that were launched last year also should give you about 4 to 5 hours of actual usage, but some of the better ones with higher capacity battery can even go about 7 hours of actual usage, guys. I'm talking about actual usage, not about theoretical numbers that these vendors publish. For example, I have actually seen, especially with Windows laptops, many of the vendors claiming 15 hours of battery life, but in real life they give about 7 or 8 hours. Generally, you can easily cut whatever numbers they say to half. That's the actual usage you might get. Okay, moving to some of the nice and bonus features to have. These are not must have, but again, if you're having this in your laptop, again, I feel these are the plus point. The first thing that I like is see if your laptop has a Type-C port. Most of them will have a Type-C port now in 2022, but check if the Type-C port supports charging, or do you have to always carry the power brick? If it supports charging also via the Type-C port, it's actually very good. That means it supports power delivery, and you can just carry a powerful, a mobile charger also and charge it on the go. You don't have to carry always that bulky laptop's charger, and this makes it a lot more portable. So if portability is a thing, for example, you're a creative person, you just go out to coffee shops and stuff like that and write and stuff, having something like a PD charger will help you a lot. A lot of laptops are supporting, but not all laptops that have a Type-C port do support charging with that. So do check that out. And I've even seen this one in some of the expensive laptops, though they have the USB Type-C port, they don't support charging, but many of them do. So that is also something you have to know. Again, some of the laptops will also have fancy features like fingerprint scanner. So if you have that, it's a good thing. And some of them will also have options of Dolby Atmos or something. Don't go into the marketing, but the thing is that if the laptop has that Dolby Atmos or something, at least the stereo speakers on the laptop will be decent enough. Because generally what I've noticed in many of the Windows laptops is that the basic speakers are so bad that you cannot just even enjoy movies, etc. with the built-in speakers. But generally if they have Dolby Atmos or something, the quality of the speakers is slightly better. Not superb, but slightly better. So that is also something you have to note. Again, if you're going for slightly more expensive laptops, what are the things that you would be getting? That is also a question that some of you might have. The first biggest upgrade that you will get is better quality screens. In fact, some of them will even have touch. But again, better quality screen for graphic work, graphic artists. If you're a person who works with videos or photographs or something, you need that color accuracy. So many of the higher end laptops will actually have a support for 100% sRGB, color accurate. Some of them will also have P3 color gamut validation, 100%. So that is something that will improve. Also, in more expensive laptops, the maximum brightness of the screen increases. In some of the budget range, the maximum screen brightness will be just about 250 to 300 nits. That's okay indoors, but if you're using it mostly outdoors, then that brightness, even at full brightness, is not enough. But in slightly more expensive laptops, the maximum brightness can go as high as to 400 to 500 nits. So definitely you get a better quality screen on this. Also, of course, the expensive laptops will have better build quality. Some of them will be made with the aluminum materials like that, and all those things also will be lighter. So again, guys, this is a big outline, broad outline you can have a look at when you're looking for a mid-range laptop, Windows-based laptop in India. Do let me know what do you feel about this video. I have about 7 or 8 other topics also, very targeted topics that I'll be soon be making. And in fact, do post your interesting questions also. If I feel a particular question is very important and targets a lot of users, I'll try to make a dedicated Geeky answers video on that one. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.